In Dover, there is an issue in Legislative Hall that not a lot of people want to talk about, but it has some lawmakers very upset, including a state senator who wants to put an end to something called double dipping.
I've certainly made some people around here upset.
Senator George Bunting knows he hasn't made too many friends by filing Senate Bill 96, but he says it's something he had to do.
To me, it's an issue of ethics that when you come in this building, many of us sacrifice to be here financially and otherwise. You come into this building, you should not be able to cherry pick another job with state government and be drawing 2 or 3 paychecks.
The senator's bill would prohibit members of the General Assembly from taking additional state jobs after they're elected, something he says raises questions of conflict of interest, and with jobs in Delaware so scarce, just doesn't look good.
They're taking jobs away from, there's a lot of people out there who need work.
Currently, the state code allows legislators to hold more than one job, just as long as they don't get paid twice by the state for working the same hours, something State Auditor Tom Wagner admits is difficult to prove.
From an auditor's perspective, it's not the best use of our resources because at the end of the day, the report really doesn't say much because there's all different kinds of ways that you can make up the hours.
But Wagner agrees with Bunting that the practice does raise some ethical questions.
One of the problems are if you're a state employee, but you're also voting on the budget or matters that affect your day job, if you would, there's just always going to be inherent conflicts of interest in that.
According to state records obtained by WHYY, 9 of Delaware's 62 legislators are currently holding 2 state positions, and 5 of those got their state jobs after they were elected. They are Senator Margaret Rose Henry, Senator Anthony DeLuca, Representative Helene Keeley, Representative Michael Mulrooney, and Representative John Viola. WHYY requested an on-camera interview with all 5 legislators. We were told 1 was out of town, 1 was too busy, and 2 others simply declined our request. However, there was 1 representative who did agree to talk to us.
We're not taking advantage of the system. We're not being, getting double paid. And I think that's the most important thing.
Representative Keeley addressed the key issues concerning the potential for conflicts of interest. She says safeguards are in place to make sure that doesn't happen. But what about accusations that they're taking jobs away from others?
We were all hired prior to the downturn in the economy. I 100% understand, based upon today's economy, that there might be more of a magnifying glass over us.
Bunting says ultimately it's an issue that should be decided by Delaware citizens on Election Day.
Delaware is a small state, and I hope the public reacts to some of this and says, look, no more.
Even though this bill would not apply to current members of the General Assembly, Senator Bunting says it's unlikely his bill will, quote, see the light of day. He says it's simply too embarrassing for too many people.